a quiet coastal community, but firefighters are swarming Stewart's Point, searching for signs of contamination.
There's a lot of premises that have been inundated by this contaminated water.
Residents have been ordered out of their homes because of the risk posed by overflowing septic tanks. Vehicles leaving town are being stopped and cleaned.
A colleague from work was evacuated and I think they got knocked on the door during the night, like midnight or something.
It's a troubling development for locals now worried about possible exposure.
We were sandbagging throughout the floods, so we're quite concerned for our own health. We didn't have any sort of precautions and we were in yards where it obviously had a smell.
The water table is saturated and the water is taking its time in dissipating. So once it's all gone, we can apply our lime, neutralise it.
In Port Macquarie, the long wait is over for residents like Dale Whalen, who've been trying to get back to their homes in the devastated North Shore area. They're being ferried from the city centre.
I've got nearly everything out, it's just the clean up now. I've got all my family here to help me go over there now and clean.
This is the scene that greets them. In front of house after house, piles of ruined possessions. Volunteer firefighters from across the state are here to lend a hand.
Are you surprised by what you're seeing here?
Yeah, it is. It's horrible. Flood is a horrible thing. It gets in everywhere.
Among those in need is Ursula Butlin. Floodwaters washed right through her home, sparing little.
Like almost everything is wet inside in here. I can sleep, but not really, Davis, because of the smell of the bed. But what can I do? I need to survive.
It's hoped the main car ferry accessing the North Shore area will be back in action in the coming days. Until then, this water taxi service is the main way residents can reach the centre of Port Macquarie or get back across to their homes. People are ploughing on, but right now, there's little to celebrate. Emma Siossian, ABC News, Port Macquarie.
Well, many Sydney-siders have also spent the day cleaning up. As the water washes away, more destruction is revealed. But there have been a few bright spots on the road to recovery. Cecilia Connell is at the Windsor Bridge, which connects Western Sydney with the Hunter Valley and Blue Mountains. Cecilia, after re-emerging from the waters, the once thought flood-proof bridge has just reopened.
Yes, this is such a relief for locals after the bridge was submerged for almost a week. Traffic has been fairly consistent since the bridge reopened, with traffic now able to access communities on the northern side of the river. Engineers have spent a considerable time assessing the bridge and have declared it structurally safe and sound. Now, it had been collecting debris as the floodwaters raged. Now the bridge has reopened, it will make recovery efforts a little easier, which is just beginning for many people here. As the river levels go down, this is what's left behind. It looks like the aftermath of a tsunami. The sheer power and destructive force of the water plain to see. And everywhere and everything is covered in mud.
This was our kitchen family room.
Ben Sullivan and his family live a few streets back from the river in Windsor. Their house dates back to 1846.
We haven't stopped. It's literally been go for the last 7 days. Yeah, out and now clean. So we've chased the water down. So it's literally been, 7 days solid.
They managed to get many of their belongings out, but some priceless mementos have been lost.
Stuff from my childhood, papers and things that I wrote as a kid that we still had, they're all out on the street, ready to go.
Residents here have spent the day washing mud out of their homes and sifting through debris. The floodwaters are going down, but the damage bill is rising. There were long queues as the North Richmond Bridge reopened. It was welcome news for residents who've been cut off for a week. Trapped on the wrong side of the river, baby William couldn't wait. Parents Sarah and Adam got a helicopter ride to hospital. The new arrival delivered home by rescue boat.
I'll head down to Pittown Bottoms, mate, and have a look there.
Emergency crews are still checking on isolated areas. Rachel Marks managed to move her cattle to safety, but is now facing an almighty clean-up.
We've got lounges, tyres, pumpkins, all sorts of things down there, hay bales. Yeah, so it's just like, well, where do you start?
The floodwaters are now making their way out to the ocean. At the river mouth, a dark plume is forming. Debris is washing up along normally pristine beaches. And there's plenty more coming this way. Cecilia O'Connell, ABC News, Sydney.
The Prime Minister has ordered a controversial Queensland backbencher to get professional guidance on how to improve his behaviour. Liberal MP Andrew Laming last week apologised for his comments towards 2 female constituents. But with doubts cast over the sincerity of that apology, the Prime Minister says professional intervention is now required.
Juggling a flooding disaster
it's coming for you, buddy.
and a cultural crisis. Scott Morrison today toured flood-affected parts of Sydney with wife Jenny by his side.
I want to thank all the SES workers here. I've had the privilege with Jenny to meet this morning and say thank you.
While helping guide New South Wales out of disaster, problematic MPs are still causing headaches. Liberal backbencher Andrew Laming apologised on Thursday night to 2 female constituents for his behaviour online.
And I express my regret and deep apologies for the hurt and the distress that communication may have caused.
But he went back online and in private messages cast doubt on that apology.
In this climate, I willingly apologise. I didn't even know what for at 4 p.m. when I did it.
Will you accept this behaviour in your party?
No, I won't. And I spoke to him again this morning.
Mr Laming says his apology was sincere and genuine, but the PM says he's got to change.
I'm arranging for Mr Laming, for Andrew Laming, to now go into get appropriate assistance through a proper course to build his understanding and awareness about his actions.
Andrew Laming's position is untenable, and it's very clear that the Prime Minister needs to take action.
It's a view shared on parts of the crossbench. Independent Senator Rex Patrick reckons Laming's shameful conduct should result in swift LNP expulsion. Scott Morrison says that's up to the LNP in Queensland.
I'm sure selectors will be thinking about all of these things.
On the other side of the coalition, a new pledge. The Nationals committing to awareness training.
If we need to sit around for an hour or so listening to an expert in the field saying that this is acceptable, this is not acceptable, yes, of course, common sense comes into it. Common decency comes into it, and I've always endeavoured to be both of those things.
A cultural reckoning carries on. Tom Lowry, ABC News, Canberra.
Australia's